2 words: hypocrisy and misconception. Look, normally in discussion videos like this one, I try to defend my points by answering any potential questions that could be used as counterpoints. I'm not sure I can do that today because there are no counterpoints to refute. The war between the casual and competitive communities on Twitter this past week can essentially be dumbed down to uninformed people mindlessly replying "you're wrong" to my friends and ratioing them without fail. There is just a massive hive mind of people that hate to see a video game have a competitive community, let alone educate themselves on how and why said community plays the game the way they do. And before I go in depth about how us competitive players feel about it, I need to give some context, because that hive mind has been A, neglecting any and all types of gameplay they see from us, and B, contradicting itself on what they want Nintendo to do about us for 20 years. History lesson time, because this has been going on for much longer than just the recent war on bagging. See, for much of the first half of the Mario Kart series, snaking reigned supreme. After 5 games of people not liking how those that were good at this tech had a quote-unquote unfair advantage over those who weren't, the way you get mini-turbos was changed permanently from Mario Kart Wii onward. However, the other change Nintendo made to nerf karts and Wii bikes wound up being overkill. Wheelies were too fast, and inward was just flat out better than outward. So, after a 1-game absence in 7, bikes returned to Mario Kart 8U with no wheelies and the Celtic Shack reincarnate that was the new inward. Among the other changes to this game was Nintendo's gift to the competitive players, fire hopping, our first new piece of actual advanced driving tech since MKDS snaking. But oh wait, everyone hates it again, and it's patched out of the Switch port. Okay, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Top-level driving has never been more accessible, outward and inward have never been this close in viability, and the speed stat isn't the meta for the first time in over a decade. Surely everyone's happy now, right? After running completely dry of complaints about how a racing game can in fact have a skill ceiling, they decided that the most balanced game in series history is the one where the best combo was giving people an unfair advantage. I already made a full video on why this was wrong before the balance patch, but fine, we'll listen to you one more time. Here's some balance patches in waves 4 and 5. Post-balance patch, of the 47 total character and vehicle classes in the game, 39 of them have a world record. There we go, we did it! The game is balanced and Mario Kart is saved. After almost 2 decades of everyone against the idea of people driving fast in a racing game, up next on the agenda is to complain about people not driving fast in a racing game. Do you people realize how you sound? If you wanted us to drive faster, you wouldn't have extincted an entire playstyle, gotten integral driving mechanics outed from their games twice, and invalidated 6 years of world record history to get your way. You didn't like us driving fast, but now we have to, or else we're, quote, abusing the game's mechanics and purposefully not having fun. Bagging is only this relevant because driving has never been weaker. This is your fault. Oh, by the way, I thought you guys liked when we abused the game's mechanics. No? Not anymore? Oh, okay. This just in, breaking news for the anti-bagging party, games can be more than one genre. Crazy, right? Yes, Mario Kart is a racing game at its core, but it's just as much of a strategy game. The best example of this is the French player Army. With a current total of 19 of the possible 96 200cc world records, and the fact that the only person with more than him very rarely plays online, it is no stretch of the imagination to say that Army, in online terms, is the fastest driver in the game right now. So, what rank is he in the solo queue system for competitive 200cc matches? 2. Behind a player that has never once sunk meaningful time into time trials. How? Because he's just fast enough, then makes up the difference by being prolific with items. It is not that deep. Games that span multiple competitive elements require their top players to be good at all of them. Before Wave 6, 8 Deluxe had a very nice balance of everything that made Mario Kart Mario Kart. Running wasn't foolproof, and sometimes the items didn't roll in your favor when you bagged. But since the attempted fix didn't actually kill bagging, it just skewed the relationship in favor of the worst element a competitive game can have. Even then, it's not like bagging is a choice or even a playstyle. Sometimes it's the right strategy in your situation. Say you're running and the shock hits you right after an item set. The right play here is to go back and get an item while you still can. Yeah, driving forward is faster short term, but if you do that, the person that got shocked before the item set will combo you to end your race because you're defenseless. People bag because they have to, and the overwhelming majority of bagging that happens online is done in private, competitive lobbies, not the worldwide you're all playing in. Nobody can rely 100% on bagging either, because not only do you need to pull good enough items to win, you usually have to actually drive well to make the comeback bagging set you up for. Bagging alone will never make anyone the best player, the same way running alone doesn't either. I should not have had to put the entire previous paragraph of the script into this video. Everything in it should be common knowledge. There are so many talented content creators in this community like Shortcat and Rerum that make fantastic educational content for their respective games, and yet, as is what seems to be the case with every topic, people refuse to educate themselves on it before going to Twitter to argue about it. It's sad, really. The competitive player base makes up a minuscule fraction of total Mario Kart 8 Deluxe players, and because we're a vocal minority, we have no say in what gets changed about the game, even if it flips our entire community's foundation on its head. Despite our best attempt to educate the wider community on why we play the game the way we do, including telling people that we don't like bagging but have to do it, they turn a blind eye to our reasoning and just complain about it instead. Here's a conversation a friend of mine, Darker, got into where she does exactly this, and the reply she got basically just says, "Nuh-uh. We are not forcing our methods of gameplay onto you. We're just tired of everybody not in the community being ignorant and acting like this." Then, once we do adjust to the changes they forced on us, they end up contradicting themselves over what they actually want. There's no winning, because despite our best attempts to change the public perception of our community, it won't budge. Here's one argument that's gained some prominence lately: Mario Kart players couldn't survive a harder game like Crash Team Racing. First of all, we can and did. Also, friendly reminder that Crash Team Racing is often praised for having a steep learning curve and difficult driving mechanics, so where was that energy for us? Oh wait, you took those away, never mind. For how big of a reaction the news of the Nintendo tournament guidelines got from the whole internet, it's ironic how those same people think only a handful of those games are allowed to be played competitively. I'm sorry that somebody with thousands of hours in a video game is better than you at it and can beat you at it in multiple ways? Is that what Twitter wants to hear? I don't know what more to tell you if you don't get the point yet, but if not bagging is what it's going to take for us competitive Mario Kart players to get some respect from the wider world of esports, then alright, we'll press A. We're not too hard though, because apparently you don't like that either.